bread from a box? More likely than you'd think. What's in the box? What's in the swamp this week?
Yes.
Hi,
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to the swamp. It's morning for us, and it's whatever it is for you. You're listening to our podcast. It's an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
Whack, 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 whack. Especially. And that was 5 whacks for 5 years.
Yes!
Actually, I think that was more than 5 whacks. But we're celebrating here on the swamp. We have...
happy birthday to us.
We have almost 250 episodes, I believe, in the swamp canon. I just wanted to shout out, to the homies, because, I'm honored to be the friendly voice in your headphones that's keeping you company wherever you might be throughout your day. And I just appreciate our little swamp community and our swamp fans. So,
yeah, truly,
love y'all.
Thank you guys for being here. For the last, if you've been here this long, kudos to you.
I know, yeah, right? I'm surprised we've been here this long. I'm surprised we're both still kicking, like truly.
This is my metric of, like, if I'm, if my life's going okay, if I don't have time to sit down and watch a movie for 2 hours and talk with my friend about it, then something needs to change.
I gotta assess.
Exactly. And I'm glad that we talked the most violent and horrifying movie to celebrate 5 years.
If only we had saved this for 7 years. Maybe oversight.
Oversight.
Next time.
Listen,
Again,
this is for Jen.
We'll circle back. I've talked before about circling back and just redoing all the movies we've already done. So maybe at that point we'll be circling back.
I have friends who have sort of recently started listening, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've gone through the old ones." I'm like, "You don't have to do that. It's okay. I was drunk.
I was in college and having a bad time.
I was in college during COVID, just trying to graduate."
But, okay, so this is to celebrate Jen also this whole month, February. Because her birthday's this month.
Could not have been done without Jen. She's everyone's mother now.
Spiritually, metaphysically, literally, but also her...
Jen's the Holy Ghost. I feel like you're Father, I'm Son, and Jen is the Holy Spirit of this podcast.
I'm Father!
I would say so.
My
you
God.
do the heavy lifting around here.
That's crazy business. But love my mom, Jen, who will not be on the show this week because we had scheduling conflicts because we're all adults.
Sorry,
so she hasn't been here for the past couple weeks, but she'll be up this month as a guest and as her regular segment. Chocolate or vanilla that we all love. And so she was like, I want to pick for February because it's my birth month.
Absolutely.
I get December. Emily gets April, and Jen now hereditarily gets February. And so I believe we did this last year, maybe the year before. And she sent us like a itemized list. So it's like, and she didn't just pick 4 movies. She gave us like a menu of options to pick from, which I appreciate. And she made up categories for several, but we didn't pick a particular category. But I will announce that that 7 was under the category of movies that came out and were popular when she was our age. So that also was kind of a mind fuck for me to be like, oh, this movie came out in 1995. Like, my mom was my age in 1995. Like, that's kind of wild to think about.
No, I can imagine this would have been a total mind fuck when it came out.
Yes, and it was kind of like a sleeper hit. Like, people didn't really know who David Fincher was. He had only made
Aliens.
This is his second movie. Yeah,
he jumped from the Alien 3 to this.
Yeah, and he hated the experience of making Alien Cubed or Alien 3.
I call it Alien 3 just because it feels easier.
What is with him and the stylized titles with the numbers? It's like Alien Cubed 7 with the 7.
I don't know. Some of us are into murdering people over the deadly sins. I guess his is just putting numbers in his titles.
So this was his second movie. Which is wild to think about it because it's a seminal work. Like, I'm sorry, we will address the problematic nature of
For sure.
who is here,
For
but
sure.
this is an insanely good
This
movie.
is sort of the same way that PTA kicks off his career with Boogie Nights. You know, I just don't know how, I just don't know where you go after this. And obviously he's had a beautiful, awesome career and things have, been super, you've had Gone Girl, you've had fucking Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and all of his other hits. But this kind of stays as the Fincher movie of like fucked up Fincher movies.
Fincher as a whole, I would say that Zodiac is like the slightly elevated, like a little more complex, a little more, I don't know, complete and deep of a story.
Sure.
That utilizes a similar kind of filmmaking, but also like feels a little bit more refined to me compared to Seven.
That this was gritty and dirty, though.
Yes, and the rain, it never stops raining.
Yeah.
And like the American Horror Story intro credits of like the choppy serial killer handwriting. I was like, oh, this is so classic. Like you can tell that everyone tried to copy this movie after it came out as far as like psychological crime thrillers.
I wonder if like one of the reasons, like it's kind of the same thing as like, and we'll get to this as well, but like George Harrison sitting on a bank of like great songs and then just having to do the Beatles, where I'm sure like he wasn't like sitting there like gagged that he had to do Alien 3. Do you think he was just like his heart wasn't in it and he's like, I have to make what speaks to my heart, and that's Seven.
From what I had gathered, he had such a bad experience on the Alien 3 set with like production setbacks and changes being made, like losing creative control pretty much.
Makes sense.
And then like not good reception to the final product.
Oh yeah.
And I think Sigourney Weaver like really stood up for him, and she was like, hey, the things that made this movie bad were not his fault. Or the things you guys are criticizing have nothing to do with anything he directed about it. It was because they told us we had to do it this way.
Yeah.
Like the franchise was already 3 movies deep. There was a certain level of like, corporate control over it. But I think he had such a bad time that he was literally not going to make movies anymore.
Wow.
He was like, I'm over this. He was like, tried it. Not for like, he was like, this sucked.
I'm good, actually.
I'm over it.
So how did this get made?
I don't know exactly how this script, like.
Well, how did they get heavy hitters like that? Morgan Freeman on the fucking pay bill.
Yeah, who was the first person signed on. I think he was given the script and he loved it and he immediately accepted.
Which makes sense because it's a great part for him.
Yeah, he's such a shining beacon of light in this movie, especially just being surrounded by nasty abusers who I hate to see on my fucking TV screen.
Yeah.
A part about the swamp, a tried and true tradition of 5 years, is to call out shitty fucking men and to say words like rape and pedophile because
this has
that's
2
what
of those in this movie.
That's what they are, and they are still getting work and being honored by the
Academy
industry, the movie industry. It's fucking shitty. And that's why there's no ads on this podcast, because I'm gonna say
exactly
Kevin Spacey's a pedophile.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt is a piece of shit fucking abuser. All of his kids hate him.
That's all I need to know. That's literally all I need to know.
He is a physically and emotionally abusive partner and father to his family. He is a known piece of shit, and he's at the Oscars. Kevin Spacey, I looked this up. This is fucking crazy because right now he's tap dancing in Tel Aviv.
Yes.
As we all know, because that's where the pedophiles flee to.
We have to. We'll get into this. There's an overarching theme this week, especially considering the state of the world as well. So there's
Kevin Spacey being in the Epstein files.
Well, yes.
But so I was like, okay, Kevin Spacey's like disgraced at like known disgraced actor.
Yeah, entirely. I would say like no one ever like really successfully got canceled besides like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and Kevin Spacey are like the big 3 that come to mind. You know what I mean? And then every other man has been let off the hook, like Brad Pitt. Oh, Johnny Depp's playing Ebenezer Scrooge right now.
Did you know Johnny Depp Justin Baldoni and Brad Pitt all have the same crisis PR team.
It makes sense.
It makes so much sense. Isn't that fucking hilarious that there's a resident agency you call when you abuse your family and need to maintain your Hollywood image? So fucked.
I think that also, like, when you get to that point, you need to realize that there is, like, the look of you having the same crisis PR team is also bad enough.
But I was looking this up because I was like, what's Kevin Spacey up to? Like let's check in on where his career is actually at, other than tap dancing at Tel Aviv. But
him and Quentin Tarantino can go suck each other off until they fucking die in the basement.
Everything about Kevin Spacey came out in 2017, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Was when the first, like, allegations and lawsuits were brought to light. But obviously this was stuff that he had done over the course of his
career,
life and career, like abusing people. But I think it was, like, 2017. And his response was to be like, I'm gay.
Yeah, that was the whole
this
thing.
Isn't how, he's like, and this isn't how I want to, I'm private. And so this is, like, outing me. But it's like, no it's like
I'm outing you as a
plus men
rapist.
Are saying that you were groping them when they were 14. Like, okay. Disgraced. So 2017, I was looking up what is of note recently going on for him. At the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, he showed up. Yeah.
Last year, he won a Lifetime Achievement Award. They awarded Kevin Spacey.
Listen. It was Cannes though. They love to give pedophiles awards over there in France.
I guess put that stamp on it. But it was like the Better World Fund gave Kevin Spacey a fucking Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm like, what is this sick joke?
It's probably an Israeli-run company. Sorry, I'm like so deep into my conspiracy theory now, considering that everything that everyone has told us about the elite being pedophiles and cannibals is indeed true. I hesitate to say it because I do sound like a conspiracy theorist, but at the same time, every conspiracy theory has been proved true. But anyway, so I saw someone, let me just read off the bullet points for you. He was killed in 2019.
Wait, what is the context of this? Oh, this is a rabbit hole that you subscribe to, is what you're saying.
Yes, this is a rabbit hole that I subscribe to. Also involves Israel, of course, and all the pedophiles. Of course. Epstein's killed in August 2019. His YouTube account, this is important to know, is called, like, Littlest Jeff or some shit like that, which I'm like, also kill yourself, first of all. You're horrifying. Files.
But he didn't, Emily. Emily, it's important to note that he didn't.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting to. Because, it's the same username that he used on Fortnite, which he was an avid player, apparently. Fortnite tracker shows that his account reached a handful of different levels in the game Chapter 5, Season 1. This was released in 2023. It ran until 2024, this version of the game.
Are you going to tell me he's still alive? Are you going to tell me he's with Tupac on the island?
I'm not saying he's on the island. I think he's in Tel Aviv. I think they're harboring him in Tel Aviv. Because that's where all the other pedophiles go.
Okay, give me more evidence. Give me more evidence.
It was, oh my God. It was from Israel. It was playing from Israel. That's the thing. He reached level 4 of 9 for whatever. I don't know. I don't play Fortnite. I don't, but he's leveling up essentially. So it's either
victory royale. Yeah.
Why would someone else be? Why would someone else be using his shit?
I respect this tinfoil hat. I won't be putting it on, but I will be monitoring it from afar.
Thank you.
I
appreciate.
I relate to this feeling though. Like talking to anyone
I feel crazy.
Who in my close personal life, my inner circle is we all agree, right? We are all on the same page that this shit is fucked, right? And keeping up with, I don't know, the same sort of news. And then I leave my inner circle and I try to talk to people and I realize that everyone's experience of like being informed is so wildly different.
Oh my God.
I
sound
feel
crazy.
like I sound crazy. I sound like a big conspiracy theorist trying to peddle something, and I'm literally just trying to talk about current events with like my coworkers, and I feel crazy.
And no, like that's the thing too. My job has been doing some restructuring lately, and everyone is acting like the thing that's been making me feel craziest, I think, lately is the fact that everyone's acting like everything's fine. and okay in the world.
Yeah.
And no one will,
Yeah.
and like you said, no one will talk about it with me on like a human level. It's all like, bipartisan, like, oh, I don't have an opinion. I'm like, you can have an opinion on
And you should.
rapists and pedophiles.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And if you don't, that is highly of concern.
Yeah, if you don't, I'm more worried, actually. But yeah, so that's my tinfoil hat for the week, because, like, honestly,
not bad.
So this was a really topical movie to watch, because that last line hit really hard, considering that it's getting really dire out here.
Yeah, so this movie ends with Morgan Freeman
It's a Hemingway quote, right?
Yeah. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for. I agree with the second part. Oh my God. And the themes of the movie being like, to succumb to the evil means that the evil has won kind of vibe. It's like, we cannot succumb to the evil. We have to persevere and kill Kevin Spacey.
Well, I guess not kill Kevin Spacey, because Brad Pitt certainly knows how to character act, because he was just playing himself here and he succumbed to the evil. Kevin Spacey really freaked me out, like, a lot more this watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's check in. So Seven came out in 1995. When was the first time you had seen this movie? And what is your impression of it now? Has that changed? Like, because this movie is shocking. I guess spoilers for everything. We're going to spoil everything. Obviously, the opening line of this podcast was the spoiler of the movie. It's like the I see dead people.
What's in the box? Yeah,
is the what's in the box.
I watched this movie maybe for the first time a couple of years ago or so. So this is only the second time I've watched it. So it's kind of like watching it for the first time, almost, if you know what I mean, in the way that, like, you watch this movie for the first time and you are so wrapped up in it that you don't even, you can't notice the details because you don't know the twists, you don't know what's happening and everything like that. So I was definitely a little more drawn to, like, the details of it and everything like that, and the fact that, like, immediately, like, right after, like, his wife is dead at this point, and they make Brad Pitt start talking about his wife a lot more, and wearing a black tie for the first time the entire movie to go pick up the box and everything like that. Yeah, so it was just, and, like, I think with this watch, again, I think I was really impressed with Morgan Freeman's performance. I think it's really subtle the first time, and you're not really he's supposed to kind of be that sturdy backbone of the film, and so you don't really look at him so much because all the shiny stuff is over here, and he's playing it cool and calm, I guess. I loved it. It's brilliant. It freaked me out, I think, more than the first time I watched it, because, like I said, you're paying attention more and you know what's coming, and you're like, all of the little details are what is, like, so disgusting. Yeah, you know what to look for. Yeah, this movie's like a production designer's dream. Bloody wet dream. Yeah. It's just all these crime scene sets that are, like, so specific and fucked up and oh my God, gooey, oozy, nasty. Yeah, I will say one thing that stuck out to me about this one, which I appreciated, which is funny because he did this to begin with, was that he didn't show, like, the body of the women as much, and especially the one that was, like, raped to death. Yeah, at all. Like, they didn't show us the girl who had her nose cut off and everything like that. But it's certainly, like, all you really need is to see that device and that picture of that device, and you get the picture. And I think it's the whole thing of, like, less is more, which I will say is one of those things that I wish he took that lesson to Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because that is one of the most insane torture. Like, we've talked about this scene a lot because I think it is genuine, or I've at least talked about it a lot because I think it's genuinely very problematic and really shitty of Fincher to have done. But that rape scene in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo does not need to be in movies, in my opinion. Which is why I haven't watched that movie. Yeah, you don't need to. That's my big reservation, is that I'm like, I don't really think I want to see that. It is like I don't know. This movie doesn't come off as torture porn to me, which is clear. Like, it is easily could. Whereas that movie certainly hit that. No, I totally agree. I think this should be like a masterclass on how to make things scary without them being, like, visually
disturbing and fucked up. Like, it still was visually disturbing and fucked up in a lot of ways. But yeah, you can imply a rape without showing us the rape. And actually, the guy, in the
tweaked,
and he's shaking and he's telling this story. Like, that was all we needed. That was more than enough. And the notable head in the box, like, we never see the head in the box.
Course,
it's the implication of the head in the box, right? Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box should be the touch point for all violence against women in your movie, right? Think about that.
Exactly. Preach the gospel.
And I did feel like this was also a good example of, like, a female character who, like, wasn't necessarily, I don't know, like, well written. Like, we really only humanize her so that the impact of her death is that much more,
For sure.
emotional to us. But I did think, but I liked the scenes that they wrote to do that humanizing of her were so much more than most movies give any of their female characters, let alone, the girlfriend, the wife, the side, the victim, pretty much. I felt like that relationship she develops with Morgan Freeman and, just the few scenes we do get of her, I think carried a lot of weight. You mentioned not looking too closely at Morgan Freeman, your first watch around, but then the second you're like, oh, he's kind of, like, not great either. He certainly has his issues, and him being like, if you get rid of the baby, don't ever tell him. Like, very self-serving. He breaks into this library database to get John Doe's address, and like,
I think
that's not chill. Doing what you have to do, whatever, because you're in the right, because you're, we know that you're a do-gooder. But it's like, that is also contributing to a police surveillance state, Morgan Freeman. So I agree that this watch around, because I had seen this movie maybe in, like, high school or college, like early, late teens, early 20s. And I think when I had first seen it, it would have been like a For Favorites situation. Like, I immediately was like, in the way that when you see Shawshank, you're like, oh, this is what a movie.
This is amazing.
This is what a movie can accomplish. Like,
it's
this
a movie.
is.
I love that it feels like a movie. This is, like, the one that I think that a lot of men performatively put Zodiac on their top 4, and I think that you need to be brave and put Seven on there.
I feel like the overly performative Fincher is Fight Club, and then the step down from, like, that's a different kind of performative male, though.
That's the thing.
Like,
that's not performative, almost, because he really likes it.
Fight Club is categorically
misunderstood,
like, notoriously very misunderstood by toxic men, because really all of David Fincher's movies are about, like, a narcissistic egomaniac being portrayed as self-destructive and nihilistic. And if you relate to Brad Pitt, you're fucked.
Yep.
If you are relating to and sympathizing to Mark Zuckerberg, then you're not interpreting the film correctly.
I got news for you.
Pause. David Fincher Squid Games? Do you know about this?
No, I don't. So you're going to be the first one to tell me. So make it good, please.
Thinking about David Fincher's, like, body of work, sort of career. And then I forgot that he had made that Netflix show, Mindhunter with Jonathan Groff. It's like a true crime detective sort of show. I don't know. I've never watched it. A lot of people recommend it.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a great show. The fact that it's got canceled is so sad. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of the slow brooding drama that you don't always get with Fincher. I think that's, like, it's a good way. Like, if you don't want to watch Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, go watch that instead.
I'll have to give it a shot, because
it's very good.
To honor Jen, who loves Jonathan Groff. But that mentally puts, I'm creating a little pocket that Netflix, because that was a Netflix original, was it not?
It was.
So Fincher gets to do this TV project. Netflix funds his TV project. It gets canceled, whatever. And then has he made any movies since then? Yes, Mank.
Yeah,
Mank,
don't forget about Mank, bitch.
which was also a Netflix original.
Yeah.
So he's been rocking with Netflix, paying the bills and making stuff that's not that great because he has signed on to do an Americanized version of Squid Games. It's going to be called like Squid Games USA or some fucking shit like that,
so
right?
is this like a show about, is it a show? Is my question, because they've now turned it into a reality TV competition as well.
I think this is different. I think this is different.
This is an actual, like, they're doing the Begonia and they're taking remake. They're taking the Korean movie and making it American and just making a Squid.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Every American on Earth watched Squid Games. That was the whole
we
thing.
Have the data. We have the data. Yeah, we have the data that happened.
That's just like the dumbest shit that I could have heard right now. And I'm a little pissed at David Fincher.
Yeah,
he's been on his slop grind since Mank, and we have been very aware of that, I guess, because we tried to watch Mank.
We had a terrible double feature where it was, during like an Oscar season, in preparation, we watched Mank and Promising Young Woman back to back, and we were so obliterated, drunk, because we were just like,
because we had to watch Promising Young Woman.
Tangent corner.
Yeah, while we're here.
Not that we've really even talked that much about the movie.
I don't know. I don't think I need to talk.
Actually,
it's sorry guys. It's our 5 years, so we get to do whatever we want.
We get to it's like mystery criminal is committing homicides based on the 7 deadly sins, and you don't
really fucked up and brutal.
You don't see the perpetrator until like an hour and a half into the movie. So it's very like we're chasing him. We don't know who he is. And our main characters are a detective on the edge of retirement, Morgan Freeman playing Detective Somerset. Lieutenant Somerset? What is it? Is he I feel like he's Lieutenant Somerset. So. And then Detective David Mills, which is Brad Pitt, who's like fresh on the scene. He just moved to the city. That's unnamed Gotham that's always raining, which is like obviously supposed to be New York, but they just don't ever say that.
Yeah, which is funny though, because then like we get out to the scene where we drive out to get the head in the box and everything like that to the power limit. I'm like, is this Los? What? Huh?
Yeah, like unnamed city of perpetual rain, and the two of them have like butting heads, but begrudging respect. Yeah, kind of. Morgan Freeman is like, "Let me do my job. This is my last big case," and Brad Pitt's like, "I'm fresh and trying to learn, and I say slurs a lot, and I'm spunky."
Yeah, well, it's just like Brad Pitt is very much like a move fast, break things kind of person, whereas I think it's Morgan Freeman's character has obviously been doing this for his entire life and knows that not everything is nearly as it seems and to be careful.
The very first crime is he forces an obese man to eat
himself
until he dies. So like eating torture. But then at the crime scene, it's like we get the word gluttony like smeared out in grease. And then it's like by the second one, then the second one is greed. Greed. They make a criminal defense attorney. Like that to me was like, okay, I guess. A criminal defense attorney, they make him cut a pound of flesh from his body and then they kill him in a big staged scene where they write greed in blood. And so it's like at that point, if you haven't fully figured out the narrative of the pattern of these crimes, I think, then it's like as an audience member, you're an idiot, but especially as a detective, you're an idiot. And I'm like, we don't need to go read Dante. To figure out. It's all about like figuring out the psyche of Kevin Spacey, spoiler alert, of like, what's his name? John Doe. It's like the trying to tap into his psyche and like, what's his next move? But it's like, you got to get ahead of this because you actually know the number of crimes he's going to commit. You have a schedule and a thematic schedule. So it's like, as a detective, why are you not trying to get ahead of this? But they do a pretty terrible job
following it, honestly.
Yeah. Then I guess to blast through, the next one was Sloth. And now they're sort of on the scene.
Fucked.
And it's a child molester drug dealer degenerate of society that he found, and he basically straps him to a bed and puts him on IV fluids and like makes him waste away for 1 year and documents it. So it's like, then we get the impression that this is like very premeditated, which is maybe the most visually like fucked up thing we see in the movie is like basically a man who has like fully wasted away to bone, but
he's like barely still alive. And then
trigger warning for rape. The next one, like conceptually, maybe probably the most fucked up one. Lust. He goes into a sort of brothel place where there's sex work happening, and he finds a patron, and he forces the patron at gunpoint to rape a sex worker to death with a knife strap on, like this crazy contraption that we see. And it's just like, the implications are like so gory and disgusting, but we don't see it. We just get like the follow-up from as the detectives.
Yo, shout out to that actor who was playing the traumatized guy who actually did the perpetrating and everything like that, because I believed him.
Chilling, like gut-wrenching.
Yeah, absolutely.
This movie is like a feel-bad movie. Like it's like I feel like sick to my stomach. And
I did have to
depressed.
I did have to put Billy Elliot on after this to like palate cleanse or something.
To, the body keeps the score, to factory reset and remind my brain that there is hope. Yeah.
For every 7, I need 4 feel-good movies.
But then the next one, Pride, was she a model? Like, what was her profession?
She was a model.
A model, and he basically gives her the decision to either
kill yourself.
Cuts off her. He's gonna cut off her nose, or she can kill herself. And so she chooses to kill herself, and that represents that, a woman would rather die than be disfigured. Oh, and then it's the last 2, right? And so then he walks into the police station, is like, ooh, you guys couldn't even figure it out. But he actually had been there the whole time, because he like pretends to be a photographer, and he comes right up to Brad Pitt at one point, and then they're like at his apartment, which they get from a database of FBI library records, which if that shit is real, the implication that shit is real, fucked up, because that is your private information. That's neither here nor there. I'm just library pilled. So I'm just always thinking.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if people are like, oh, can I get a record of everything I've ever taken out? We're like, no, we don't. Like, that is illegal to keep track of. It's Kevin Spacey is John Doe, and that's the big reveal. The big reveal, they like omitted his name from the credits at the beginning of the movie for it to be this like big, ooh, he's so unassuming. You never would have cast Kevin Spacey to be the bad guy.
No, like, I would, because in retrospect, creepy as fuck.
Watching this now, it's crazy that he's like saying all of this sadistic shit, and you're like, you believe that is true. Like, Kevin Spacey believed that was true, which is why I feel like
this performance is a little on the, like,
the whole separating an art from an artist, like part of a discussion of, quote unquote canceled, or people who are, disgraced. Like, can we still appreciate Kevin Spacey as an actor, even though we know he's a piece of shit?
I can appreciate that he's horrifying in this role only, and that's it.
In a lot of ways, it does negate the quality of his performance, because we know that he is a bad person. Yeah, to get him to play, you got a creep to play a creep. That is not worth awarding to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he did a good job, obviously. Like, I can't lie about that. Like, he scares the shit out of me in this movie.
Well, it's both him and Brad Pitt, right? Because it's always like, oh, we got this guy to be like an asshole. And it turns out in real life, he's an asshole, right?
This movie is very like true to its actors, I guess, because I would believe that Morgan Freeman is just hanging chilling now.
Yeah, he's stuck in the biz. He's
literally,
on the verge of retirement, but he's stuck in the biz.
Please let me go, but he also can't let it go.
And so a big Kevin Spacey villain reveal, and then pretty much he negotiates that he's like, let me finish my big magnum opus of murders and drive me out into the
desert, and I'll show you where the bodies
desert.
are.
Right, and they're, for a full confession, otherwise I'm gonna plead insanity. And they're like, okay, we'll drive you out to the desert. And then the whole time they're driving, Brad Pitt is like antagonizing him. And you really get the sense that something is not gonna go well for it's not going to go well for Brad Pitt. And then the big huge fucking twist at the end is that they get out there, and then a package gets delivered. Morgan Freeman goes to retrieve the package while Brad Pitt monitors Kevin Spacey, who basically in that moment is like, hey, your pretty wife, I went to your house and I found her and I killed her. And Brad Pitt's like, say it's not true. Say it's not true. And then it's like, what's in the box? And then he's like, what's in the box? And it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Uh-huh.
And then basically Kevin Spacey is like, ha ha ha, I'm envy because I envy your life and being normal. And so I decided to play husband, and I, probably raped and killed your wife.
Yeah.
And I'm envy because I'm so envious of you and your wrath because you're so mad,
David.
Ha 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 ha. And basically he's like, you're gonna kill me now with your gun, and that's gonna probably ruin your career and your life, and you now have a dead wife and a probably dismissal from the police force on your hands, and you're gonna do it to yourself. And then he does it. Obviously he Brad Pitt in a cocaine driven performance really gives like we see him being like, yes, no, I'm gonna do it. No, but she's dead. And the performance of like, tell me she's okay. Tell me she's okay. And Morgan Freeman's like, I can't say shit because I just saw her head in the box. Really,
no, and it's this whole thing like,
so dramatic. Like this is what the fucking movies are about, baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love the part of it where obviously Brad Pitt does this thing where it's like he like pretends to like sob and then puts the gun back up about like 7 times, which I'm like, okay, he has one move. He can't, he has to still look tough while he's hurt. But I really like, I think obviously the writing in this is phenomenal, but I do love the whole part where Morgan Freeman has nothing else to say except for to level with him and say, if you kill him, he wins. And that's it.
Yeah, to spell it out for the audience. Like, again, to succumb to the evil is to let the evil win, and is to become the evil.
Which I don't mind when they, like, I like when a movie builds up to this, and then you can bang me over the head with it. Don't bang me over the head with it the entire time. I think it was so well done.
The whole concept is very obtuse. It's like, it's almost comical, right? Like 2 buddy cops solving a murder case about the 7 deadly sins. It's like an Agatha Christie novel, right? It's like, it's almost hokey, but then it's like you put all this grit and this grime and this
together,
nastiness. And it works for me.
Yeah. Have you watched this movie a lot? Considering that you said it's a couple times. Feel bad.
I've seen it probably a couple times. I think I watched it maybe for the first time with Henry, who had seen it, I think, so he got to have the like watch it.
That's
kind
really
of thing.
fun.
And then I totally agree, because it's one of those, it's like Donnie Darko to me. It's like after you finish watching it, you're like, I gotta go back.
Well,
like,
exactly. Yeah, I think it's one of those things.
But it is so harrowing that you're like, I don't know if I want to right now. You're like, yeah, Billy Elliot now. But maybe we are going to rewatch this in the near future. So
exactly.
I've seen it a couple times. I think I am categorically a Fincher fan.
Absolutely.
Love Gone Girl, love Zodiac, begrudgingly do like Fight Club, as misconstrued as it gets. Because I do think he's making really good, nuanced points about narcissists, like the different kinds of narcissistic men he's portrayed in his movies. I think is like
a variety,
very, like thematically consistent, but showing the different ways that misogyny manifests itself, I guess. And I feel like that's what I get out of his movies, but maybe not maybe not everyone else. And maybe not anymore, because like I hope he makes some sort of good nuanced point with American Squid Games and that it reaches an audience who maybe isn't, privy to that kind of thinking or something. I don't know. I don't know what good could possibly come of it, but I do agree with the general points he makes. I think I'm pretty cynical and like, I wouldn't say nihilistic, but like I am a glass half empty kind of person generally in my life. Like I'm kind of a negative thinker. Again, tinfoil hats and conspiracies. Like I feel crazy all the time, but I'm like, yeah. But I do think that that's sort of the worldview that his movies take on, which, I don't know, resonates with me as a person who does like a feel-bad movie.
Yeah, fair enough. I do think that this was really warranted. I've been wanting to watch like a good movie lately, and just like one that is gonna hit. And this did it, because like the only thing that's been sitting in the back of my mind besides this has been like Apocalypse Now for some reason. So I think this satiated my boy movie need.
You want a movie, capital M movie.
Exactly. Speaking of,
but I have been getting my fill of TV. Was this what you were going to pivot to?
Yes.
Well, because my
feel good show right now is about a tall man and a small boy.
I love this shit.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Love this show. I'm so mad that the episodes are only 30 minutes, and I think
they're gonna get longer.
I'm so fucking pissed. There's gonna be 6 episodes?
Oh yeah. Well, they're already on to the next season. That's the whole thing, is they're already filming the next season, which I'm really excited about. And the showrunner has talked about, have you seen his like dream plan for this show?
No, tell me. I know who you're talking about, because he's the ones in the clips at the end who does the little interviews at the end of the post credits, like behind the scenes shit, which I also really like that they have that on the HBO.
He wants to like Linklater it basically and do sort of like a set of like a handful of years in this season of it, and then as Aegon gets older, come back and have them all do that again, and then it's like a 30-year timeline or something like that he has planned out, or ideally planned out.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
I would love it. My ass will be sad in 30 years when the last season comes out.
Fine
if I'm
by
alive,
me.
I'll be watching. I'll be streaming it in my fucking like brain chip.
Well, I'm really excited. Yeah, really. I'm really excited about it because they have this child, and they do need to move quick because he is a child and he will start sprouting. So I think that's really good for it. Like I said, they're already filming the second season as they're rolling the first season out, which I think is really good. I think we're going to get sort of a streamlined one. Because it almost feels like this was intended as filler for like House of the Dragon or any other shows that they might be coming up with, because they take 2 or 3 years in between seasons. So I don't know. I'm glad that this is sort of taking off more though than say that show. Because George R.R. Martin has talked about this. He's like, this is like straight from the books. This is perfect. I'm obsessed with how we're doing this.
He's often credited as saying that the Hedge Knight books or book, that he has, his stuff about Dunk and Egg is his favorite stuff he's written, and he thinks resonates the most with like the kind of values and lessons that he wants to put across in the medium.
Makes sense.
Which is really funny to compare to like, to Game of Thrones, which still needs an ending.
I don't blame him for getting halfway through a project and not finishing it though. Girl, I do that too.
In my world, we need 20 plus episodes a season a year. Yeah. And that could happen. We have the money. Make the budget cuts. The sets don't need to be quite so elaborate. I mean, I love the quality, the production design and the attention to detail and everything they're doing. But I bet that these are really expensive to make. And I would rather them have 20 on a, stretch the budget and give me more of this, because it is all about the little mundane moments and the, the quiet side of things. And then,
Dunk
ramping
like,
up more. But
Dunk being like, did that interaction go okay with that girl? I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed.
relatable. But if you're giving me slice of life, there's no reason for there not to be more of it.
Here's my thing, and I'm trying to play. I'm trying to be a glass half full with this. I didn't read any of the books, but I believe what it is The Hedge Knight is a novella, and it's very short. So I'm hoping that they're kind of sticking with that and just doing a short first season, and then afterwards, when we get sort of really into the adventures of Dunk and Egg, they sit with it for longer, and they'll expand it a little bit, because I think this whole first season is just gonna explore like the tourney and the precursor to them going off and doing their thing.
Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed. It's giving such like A Knight's Tale, which is one of my favorite movies. I am so obsessed. But I would say with that line of thinking, to do one season with the reference material and then be like, okay, now we're taking it off book, and even if George R.R. Martin is here and helping us and guiding us.
I think just going on to the next book, because I think there's 3 books in the whole thing. Oh, yeah. Just on to the next book, which like gets into their actual, because do you know the story of them and like what happens really?
I know. I mean, okay, spoilers, I guess.
Spoilers, sorry,
for the
guys.
Historical context, but I know that he becomes king, obviously, and that's they get burned in a fire at Summerhall.
Burns down, and that's like when Rhaegar or something like that was born, or Daenerys was born, or I don't remember.
And that
but
he
something like
is
that.
a good king, but then at the end he goes kind of crazy because he really wants to hatch dragon eggs, and he goes kind of nuts about the dragons.
Yeah, so it's like here's the whole thing is he goes and I won't tell you exactly what happens in the next couple of episodes because it's really juicy. But essentially, Dunk gets offered a place on the King's Guard, and he turns it down and says, "No, I will only have your son Squire for me if he is allowed to come with me and be a hedge knight." Because because look at all your other sons. Look at all your other sons that you fucked up. This will teach him humility, and he'll be a good man. And so then they go off and have adventures for, like, I don't know how long exactly, but, like, he's his Doug Squire for a considerable chunk of years, I believe.
Yeah, I love that. That was very much the theme of this past episode, is, like, Egg learning the value of hard work and, like, learning to love the hard work and the hard life.
Oh, yes. So that's the thing, is he becomes very, when he becomes king, his sort of journey, like, with the common people informs him a lot, and he's, like, very loved by the common folk and not by the noble people, and so he becomes, the whole dragon egg thing becomes, like, an issue, because, like, he's like, these nobles will not listen to me. I don't have my nukes, the dragons.
Yeah.
How can I make them listen to me? And so, yeah, he gets a little cuckoo bananas, and pops off on the dragon eggs and burns his homies alive. But right now he's just a bald little baby, and he's done nothing wrong yet. So I'm still obsessed with him,
and I love him.
Oh my god! Well, just the casting of these two is so perfect.
The press tour that they're doing right now. I am so in love with this man. This blonde,
that big boy.
This blonde, blue-eyed man has captured my heart.
That's hard for you.
Real.
I guess they just need to be beefy.
And actually, you know what? It does make sense, because a new spot has kind of opened up on my thirst roster, because Joseph Quinn has gone to the graveyard. No, because all these beetle pictures are giving me the ick, and so he can.
Paul is really pushing it with me these days. Between Gracie Abrams and the fact that he looks 47 years old as a 19-year-old Paul McCartney, I find it very offensive.
I saw this funny tweet that was like, they took him off his estrogen. Like for that one picture, they got it, but then they took him off, and you need to be on estrogen if you're going to be playing Paul McCartney.
This entire thing... This entire movie is just going to be about the angles and everything like that, and it's just going to be so bad.
I
don't
hate
know,
that we're getting like set photos, like leaked set photos, like every fucking day.
Because I know it's not going to
Barry
look like
Keoghan
this.
just looking so fucking botched, and it's like I hate that this is the world we're gonna have to live in until these goddamn movies come out. I'm tired. It's like it's the new Wicked. Generally, genuinely we just put Wicked to bed, and now it's like my whole feed is just gonna be the fucking Beatles until this shit is over. I'm
Because don't get me wrong, I'm in the little Beatles fandom that still exists. I definitely follow enough people online that I'm like, oh, you girls are really into this, and I don't understand how, as a Beatles fan, you could be into this when it looks this bad.
I guess it's good to be like, if you're a fan, I could see being like hopeful and excited about the movies, but I feel like if you have any insight into just like how much biopic slop has been made in the past year, like it's not gonna be good.
They don't look like at all. I would give more credit to the new Michael Jackson biopic, which is by the guys that did fucking
Bohemian Rhapsody, right?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
So fucked.
At least they got one that looks like him. At least they got someone that looks like him.
A criticism-free Michael Jackson biopic is crazy. And that's, I guess, to put a bow, to tie a bow on, like, the theme of this episode, which is like abusers still being celebrated and still being put at the forefront of the industry. It's so wild, which is why it's important to loudly. I felt like I killed a vibe pretty recently. I was talking to my in-laws, and they were, we were, just all hanging out having dinner, and they were like, oh, we like this show on Apple TV called Slow Horses. And I was like, oh, that's cool, what's that about? And then I Google it on my phone to be
Gary Oldman.
And I was like, oh, you guys know that Gary Oldman hit his wife, right? You guys know that Gary Oldman is a abuser, right? And then, and then the mood shifts, and I'm like, sorry to kill the vibe. I just don't think anyone should be actively supporting media that's employing these fucking men. Like, I'm over it. I don't know. Same thing about AI, right? Like, I've been lately, a coworker showed me something, and it's like, oh, isn't this funny? And it was AI, and I was like, sorry to kill the vibe right now and not agree that this is cute, but No, I think it's terrible, and I think even if you're doing the most mundane of interaction with it, right? Generating silly images, using ChatGPT for whatever, the most minor offenses are contributing to the manufacturing of consent for us to live in a world where robots are controlling everything. You want your healthcare, you want your healthcare decisions to be decided by AI, because that's where we're going with this. And the more people use it, the more the elites have permission to put all their money into it and force us to live in this world. So no, I don't think you should use it, and I think you need to tell people not to use it.
It's gotten so quickly ingrained in our society, it's really unsettling. I went through like a drive-through the other day, and it's just fully AI automated order system now. Not
even the implementation of it into existing systems, but just like on a human level, how apathetic people are about it. Like, I know it's bad for the environment, but I just love it. It just makes my life so easy.
I love it. It helps me, guys. It helps me write my Instagram captions.
Kill yourself. Girl. Sorry, but
at that point, we need to you need to send yourself back to school or something. I don't even know. Like, it feels like we're gonna get to a point where which obviously this only happens if AI fails and the bubble collapses and everything like that. But we're gonna have to send people to reintegration into society. Do you know what I mean?
Because they've been so robot-pilled for so long.
Exactly.
That they don't know how to function.
What do we do with them? What do we do with you?
And we're not, I don't think we're quite there yet, but I can definitely see it going that way in our lifetime, which is incredibly scary and depressing to think about.
I remember I've went on dates with people who were like, I used ChatGPT to make my grocery list. What do you mean? You can't look in your fridge and write down the 10 things that you need?
You've never let the aisles speak
look
to
at
you?
a recipe?
You've never freeballed it?
Look at the recipe and decide what you need? I do. Yeah, literally let the aisles speak to you. Dude, it's insane.
You should see me at the grocery store. I'm so chaotic. I don't like go in any particular order.
You don't list, do
no
you?
list. No.
Damn, you don't even have like because I have like the route that my mother trained me on because
what's that?
I went to the grocery store. Well, it's just the way that you do it.
There's a right way.
You do. At least the way that I was trained to do it.
Trained.
I
like that you said trained.
Yes, trained. I was trained. Yes, it was every 2 weeks. I'm at the Stop and Shop with Jean. It's freezing cold, and I have zero internet access because it's in a dead zone, and so I'm just sitting there. But yeah, you do the produce first, and then you do the perimeter, get your meats and everything like that, and then you zigzag up the aisles. That's how I do it.
But I feel like every grocery store is different. I mean, I guess if you're going to the same one every time, you kind of know your layout. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know my typical. Also, I know my way around a Trader Joe's just having worked there,
which is wild because I have no sense of up or down when I'm there. I'm like, why is the pasta sauce next to the Oreos? I'm so confused.
It makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's all just grocery, Dara. You need to start thinking in bigger terms. You know what I mean? It's wet produce, dry produce, grocery, and then like drinks.
I guess.
Yeah. It is. I'll make you a graph sometime.
It's more vibes based for sure. I think like something gets thrown off in my equilibrium when I enter that space because it's just like Kokomo by the Beach Boys is playing and everyone's, making eyes at each other. And I'm like, where am I?
There's also 15 babies being pushed around in strollers. But speaking of babies, Brad Pitt will never have a child in this one because his pregnant wife dies. Who do we fuck, marry, and kill?
Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow's severed head. Kill. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, like who do you?
It's too depressing.
Because like we have our big three. It's too depressing. Is that what you said?
We can't consider John Doe in this because it's just fucked up. Like.
Yeah.
Just fucked up. And it's like I hate Brad Pitt and think he should die. I guess I would marry Kevin Spacey. I can just say
that I want to Morgan.
I'll
marry Kevin Spacey.
I'm sorry, marry Morgan Freeman. Marry Morgan Freeman.
I think that's all we need
to
say.
Help him retire.
And I can let the other two duke it out because I'm sure that Brad Pitt kills himself after this anyways.
Real. And I don't know, of the whole movie, it's like this is a sexless movie. There's nothing sexy going on. I'm not having sexy thoughts at all.
Oh, no. I don't have a food for this because how do you eat? How do you eat during this movie? You certainly don't. We start off with he fed him to death. Yeah. That kind of sets the tone. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like you gotta go. The only way I can justify this is like going like really classic New York because we're really in New York and you should have like a wet hot dog and a cup of black coffee out of a little paper cup or something. Like have a food cart, New York street corner meal and pretend you're Brad Pitt, really toughing it out in between shifts. And then
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, boiled hot dogs. Do your boiled fucking hot dogs.
What do they even have at the dinner party? Like, what does Gwyneth Paltrow even make for them for dinner? I don't recall it being anything of note.
I just remember Morgan Freeman said, "I'll have the red wine, please."
Which I would say red wine, blood,
classy,
dark, mysterious. You could go that route.
For sure. I went, there's a scene where they're at the bar and Brad Pitt is kind of like calling, and it's like after a really bad day and Brad Pitt's kind of calling him out being like, you don't believe any of this you're saying. You're just saying this because you're retired and like you need to be here, kind of thing. But it kind of pans out and there's, you've been watching Morgan Freeman sip like clear liquid and then there's like a pitcher between them. And in my head, I'm choosing to believe that Morgan Freeman is not drinking that beer and that Brad Pitt has a personal pitcher. So I think you personal pitcher this movie because you do need to drink through this one a little bit.
And then you'll be trashed for whatever your fun follow-up is because you've got to give yourself a serotonin boost after having witnessed what is Seven.
Yeah, all of that.
Completely agree.
Yeah, I think you personal I think you personal picture. I think you can do like take a half shot every time like there's a new dead body.
Every time,
and then
Brad Pitt says something questionable. Every time Brad Pitt fucking speaks.
I say drink every time Brad Pitt mentions his wife. Slammed. But yeah. What is your follow up? Because I have a timely one.
Okay, so this movie gives me like No Country for Old Men vibes. As far as like when you were talking about wanting to watch like a capital M movie, like after watching Seven, I'm like, ooh, I want to watch another like crime drama thriller, like, you know. I'm into it. So the first one that came to my mind.
Oh, so you're not changing up your vibes.
I'm like, oh, now I really want to watch Zodiac, and now I really want to watch Old Country for No Men, and it was giving me
Old Country for No Men.
Old Country for No Men. And also the Batman, the recent Robert Pattinson Batman, that also had like rainy Gotham like kind of energy.
That feels better. That definitely feels better.
My actual answer is like that because of the rain, this movie is so wet, and I think you need to pivot and watch something dry, and you should watch Holes, which is also starring very publicly disgraced actor Shia LaBeouf, who still does pop up on occasion, and people need to be loudly reminded that he is an abuser.
Free Mia Goth.
But Sigourney Weaver, we're going to balance things out, and we are going to watch Holes, and that is going to get my serotonin back up and it gets, to a regulated level.
That one also gets sexy too, so there's that.
I could fix that.
Yeah, I would say definitely I would recommend my route of Billy Elliot. I did cry a couple of times watching it though. It is one of those like it's so heartfelt. I love that movie so much. But I think that honestly what I'm going to do after this and what I recommend you do after your Seven thing is go watch the new Muppet special so that we can actually get a new Muppet show on the hook and created, because I think it's time. I think that this is like the one beacon of hope that we have right now, especially after like Catherine O'Hara just died. Everything is fucked. Can we at least have some Muppets?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen really rave reviews, and I've seen a bunch of clips of Sabrina Carpenter on my timeline, so I'm excited to watch it.
From what I've seen,
I was under the impression that they were isn't Seth Rogen a producer or something?
This is basically their push to be like, if we can get people to tune into this, then we can move forward. I didn't realize that was the case, and that it's only like a half hour, right? It's very brief. Yeah. I was like, I thought it was either going to be it's a made for TV movie
special, like a 90-minute like a movie. I thought it was going to be like that, or I thought it was going to be a full season of TV, and it turns out it's neither. But I will watch it because I would like to see more.
It's a pilot. It's a pilot. We're doing it the old-fashioned way, which I don't mind. If we're gonna go back to cable, we might as well just go back to the actual fucking shit we were doing.
True. I guess, return to form. We've cycled through the streaming era, and now we're just actually back to traditional cable TV.
And then what do you rate this movie out of 10? This is truly like a 9 out of 10 for me. I can't give it 10 out of 10 just because.
I feel like 8 because you can watch something with a critical eye and still enjoy it, and that's where my 8 points come from. But it is critical because it is like, it degrades the performances of John Doe and Detective Mills to me, because I'm like, that just takes away from everything.
Well, it's just not acting.
And it's like, the whole movie is a little too, like, nihilistic, dark. Like, truly a feel bad movie. Like I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, it was a hard one to watch this week.
It's tough. But it is a capital M movie, and I do really like it a lot, and I like David Fincher a lot, despite, the unfortunate casting and, a Hollywood industry problems along the way. But it gave us an excuse to loudly talk shit, which is what is our favorite thing to do on.
Yeah, it's what we've been doing here for 5 years. Thank you very
talking
much.
Shit and not ever actually talking about the movie. That's also a pretty critical point.
Thank you guys for coming to gossip with us for the last 250 episodes.
And
truly, it means the world.
And we will be continuing this month to honor Jen with more chaotic movie choices from a randomized list of themes. And she'll probably come on as a guest, I would think, for some at some point. So look forward to that. And what's a inspirational quote I could leave you with? Just like Morgan Freeman.
The world's worth fighting for. I don't know. A girl worth fighting for? We can just sing that.
You must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon.
With all the strength of a raging fire.
Mysterious as the dark side of the
moon.
And have a lovely rest of your week. Goodbye.